Oh, hey, what is up, beer friends? Welcome back to another episode of Beer Detour. As always, I am your host, Miguel Brambila. On today's episode, we have something very special on deck. But before we go into that, I want to let you guys know a little story here. I want to tell you guys a little story. The other day, as I was doing my grocery shopping, or what I like to call beer shopping, trying to find something new, something weird, something strange, something a little quirky for you guys to review, I found myself still gravitated towards the same old IPAs that I'm used to, and I don't want to admit it, but I grabbed the 6-pack of IPAs and I was headed out to check out when something sparkled at the corner of my eye, something caught my attention in this very dark corner of the room. Somewhere there was cobwebs there, there was nobody in sight, but I found the imported beer section at a grocery store. Now that's somewhere where us as Americans don't really gravitate towards that much, just because we're used to sticking with our American beers, and even craft beer gets a little bit more highlighted now. But the imported beer section is very small, it's very dark, and a lot of people don't know about it. So I'm always encouraging people find and seek imported beers, because although they might look strange, you might understand them, they might surprise you. So this one is an imported beer. It is a little strange, it is a little unique, but I found it very interesting, and I think you guys will as well. Let's do this. So this is, I'm not gonna say this correctly, guys, so bear with me, schofferhofer hefeweizen mix. Now, I know what you're thinking, this is just a fruity drink, but wait a minute, there's more. This is not just your run-of-the-mill fruity drink mix per se. This is a little bit different. So this is imported from Germany. And this is interesting because it's the world's first, according to Schofferhofer, the world's first Hefeweizen grapefruit beer. So it's a 50-50 blend of Schofferhofer Hefeweizen beer and natural carbonated grapefruit flavor for a zesty and fizzy taste experience. So this is 50% wheat beer, 50% seltzer mix, grapefruit seltzer mix, I'm assuming. Now, it caught my eye, first of all, because it does look like just a regular fruity drink, but you really have to pay attention to it and see what it is. And that's why a lot of these beers don't get the attention they deserve. First of all, they're in the imported section. Then they have some name that you can't pronounce. And then they look like a fruity drink. So that is like 3 negatives. But one positive is imported beer is always different from all over the world. Obviously it's different, but what I mean by that, it's very unique to usually that specific area that's making it. And I've tasted a lot of imported beer in the past, and a lot of it tastes different from every section, from every part of the world tastes different, but I'm always finding something unique about that part. When I try something that is also imported, but from that same area, it has those same characteristics. And I don't think I've tried a Germany beer before. This is gonna be my first one, but I thought this was really cool, guys, because it has both worlds. It has the beer, wheat beer world, and then the carbonated mix in there. So I've tried seltzers in the past. Might put up some videos here. I've tried different seltzers. I'm not the seltzer guy. I'm not the guy that goes out and buys White Claws or those Trulies. I really don't. I think they're okay for what they are, but I'm more of a beer guy. So this is a mix, so 50% beer, 50% seltzer. This one here does have an ABV, or alcohol by volume, of only 2.5%. So this is probably, no, this is the lowest ABV beer that I have reviewed on this show, and probably that I've ever drank or tried out. 2.5 ABV, that is a nothing. You can drink this whole 6-pack. You might not even get a buzz, to be honest with you guys, but I'm doing this more for the taste. It looks interesting, it looks a little bit cloudy, but definitely very highlighter-ish, tangerine colored, nice, and orangey there. It does look like it has a little bit of grain in there, which is a little strange. I wonder how that's gonna pour out and drink. Well, I'm as curious as you guys. I wanna see what it looks like, what it tastes like, and then we're gonna give it, or I'm gonna give it that Beer Detour score. All right, guys, so we just poured out schofferhofer hefeweizen grapefruit beer. Of course, we have this nice tangerine color, but let's get a little bit more detailed here. It starts off in this very mellow yellow hue at the bottom, then it turns into this very bright, almost highlighter color, orange at the very top. A very minimal head, dissipated almost immediately. There is a little bit of fuzziness sprinkled at the top here, that sort of seltzer-like bubbles coming up from the top, which is very interesting. Let's get some aroma going here. Let's see what this smells like. Ooh, very floral. Of course, very citrus-like aroma coming from this. A little bit fruity, floral, citrus, just what you would expect. I don't smell the wheat in this, which is a little scary. It is more like, and I say scary just because I wanted this to be more of a beer than a seltzer. It seems just by the hue of the color in this and the aroma, it's gonna be more of a seltzer than a beer, but beggars can't be choosers. So let's go ahead and give this a taste test now, guys. Let's do this. Cheers, guys. Ooh, interesting to say the least. Okay, I'm feeling it. Okay, you definitely get a really strong tangerine kick in the beginning. Really tangy, a little tart. That's the fruity fizziness that it's describing. Definitely fizzy, definitely fruity in the beginning. But then it kind of mellows out into this wheat beer. It's a little strange. I don't think I've tasted anything like this before. I'm not sure if I like this. This is strange. It's definitely fizzy and sort of really sweet tangerine in the beginning. Almost like a soury acidic flavor right at the beginning, and then it kind of mellows out into this wheat, but not hoppy taste. It's a different sort of floral wheatness to it. Let's give this another taste. This deserves a second taste test here, maybe even a third. It's almost like a bitter tangerine peel at the end. So it's a very sweet beginning, and then it has, and I think that's what I'm trying to refer to when I say floral, more of a lemon zest kind of flavor note at the very end. So it's a very sort of bitter peel note at the end. I don't like that aftertaste. I really don't. It has a very strong beginning with that sort of grapefruit, hits you right on the tip of your tongue taste, but then it kind of mellows out and becomes this really sort of dry fruit flavor type of deal. I don't know what's going on here. It's interesting to say the least, but let's go over and give this bad boy a beer detour score now. All right, beer friends. Well, I appreciate you guys taking this beer adventure with me. I appreciate it every week. Today we had schofferhofer hefeweizen grapefruit beer on deck. We did give it that taste test, and I'm sad to say this one might not be for you. So I'm not going to recommend this to family or friends, just because I understand what they're trying to do here, okay? They made this a 50-50 mix, and I think what's happening is they didn't become their own thing. I think they crossed over and kind of melted between that seltzer, fizzy, fruity taste and that wheat beer, Pilsner style beer that a lot of people like. I think they sort of crossed over and made something different, but it's not really unique. And I say that because it starts off very fruity, very flavorful, very fizziness, and then ends up really tart. So it's not gonna be for the people that are into that sort of really wheat beer taste, because it's very fruity and very citrusy and very strong and sweet. But then again, it's not for the people that enjoy that seltzer taste, because after that, then you get that really You get that sort of peel, old grapefruit, tangerine zest at the very end. It's a very mellow but dried out taste. So it's gonna leave both parties kind of on opposite sides, and I think you guys should probably stick to each side. So if you're into that fruity sizzler, seltzer taste, stick to that. And if you're into that wheat beer flavor, stick to that. This one just didn't do it for me, and I don't think it's gonna do it for you guys. But I don't wanna turn you guys off from trying out new and strange and just overall quirky beer. I love trying out new beer, especially imported beer. Please guys, give imported beer a shot. Yes, this one wasn't to my liking. You guys might feel different, I don't know, but this is something that I've always been interested in, trying out new different beer, especially imported beer. Give this a shot. Go out and find imported beer. Try to look for something you guys might like and give it a shot. That's all I'm saying, guys. So in regards to giving this a beer detour score, I'm gonna give schofferhofer hefeweizen grapefruit beer a 5.2. Now, I know it's not the biggest score I've ever given. I don't think it's the lowest, but it's not certainly the biggest, but it's for a specific reason. It just doesn't do it for me. I don't like that in between taste, that crossover taste. I thought it was gonna be more of the wheat stout beer than the fruity fizzly flavor, but it was quite the opposite. And then it just ends up being really tart and not very either-sided. It's a really across, it's a strange beer, but I give it props for actually trying to do something different. And that's all we can do. We can appreciate beer. We really need to appreciate and give beer a chance, guys. Let's give beer, all beer, a chance. That's all I'm asking for. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, please go ahead and subscribe down below. Go ahead and share, like, comment, do your guys' thing. I will see you guys next time.